Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? YDBT Daily coming at you every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk some shit with people here. So today is going to be an interesting show. A lot of updates to talk about. Number one, we're going to talk about the updates where we announced the 5 finalists for the GT500 Magnuson Blower giveaway. I will talk about the amount of people that applied. I will show you the 5 finalists, and then I will show you what we're going to do in terms of voting the winners in, because it was an interesting process going through the people that were eligible and then finding out they weren't eligible, a lot of vetting, a lot of stuff. And we found out the actual people that applied that had a GT500 that had the ability to give me some data was quite small, as opposed to the amount of people that actually applied. Also, we'll talk about Brett Lasala, FFRE, going 5.97 in the quarter mile on round 1 qualifying at World Cup. And I mentioned that on a short a couple of days ago. I literally said, if they go 5s, that MMR is going to have to dust off their gray pro mod and go out there and run the number again, just to remind the people that they can. I think it'll be good for the culture. I think it'll be good, but I don't think anyone in this industry understands how to actually sell something, like sell beef, even though it's not real. You know, just like, hey, competitive beef in a friendly way can be done properly. And I think MMR should absolutely come out, make a rip, and let the people know that a 560, 267 mile an hour coyote still exists. Also, late developing stuff with Grannas having a big accident over at World Cup. And we'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Absolutely. So, what we're going to talk about today is PMAS. Nick James and PMAS. That's right. The best cold air intakes, the best MAP sensors. They're making MAP sensors for Fox bodies. They make the best MAP sensors and cold airs for late model Mustangs. No other manufacturer matters. PMAS is the only one you should go to. Nick James and PMAS. Don'tMyGotCookies.com. They actually stepped up and offered a $25 gift card for the people that don't win the blower, and I'm going to also offer them some stuff from richprince.com/YWT. But thank you, Don'tMyGotCookies.com. The best cookies on earth that are named after sexual positions. Don'tMyGotCookies.com. DNAPformance.com. You're going to get your injectors. You're going to get your the twin turbo kits. You're going to get your blowers. Magnuson introduced the 2650 truck kit at SEMA. Maybe DNA will become a dealer. Check them out. DNAPformance.com. YWT at checkout. Parts Farm, PartsFarm.com. Use Mustang parts, use crank. They got everything. They even have a wish blower for $2,800, a G3R. Yeah, you'll need an intercooler and a couple of things, but I'm telling you, $2,800 and you have a blower that can make 1,000 bravo horsepower. Not that bad. Check them out. PartsFarm.com. Tell Rob I sent you. Tuato Solution. Rami Tanan Tuato Solution. The best shop in Puerto Rico. Nobody else matters. They're getting into the F-150 game. Hopefully, Magnuson can step up and get them some parts for the F-150s in Puerto Rico. And Belak Industries. Belak is in at World Cup. He's going to see if anyone is actually rocking Fellax. It'd be interesting if he's like, hey, I thought you were my customer. These are not my Bellax. These are Alibaba's. And they're like, bro, what's the difference? richprince.com/YDBTs, where are you going to go if you want to support the show? If you want to support the show, you want to get your hats. You got fitted hats that are YDBT and Amory, fitted trucker. These are snapback trucker, YDBT and Amory. You have fitted Dolo, flat brim, YDBT and Amory, shiesties, in case you want to rob motherfuckers in style. Section 8 shirts and hoodies, Hush Money shirts and hoodies, DR50 shirts and hoodies, Booty Juice shirts and hoodies, Elote Juice for you 85 motherfuckers, shirts and hoodies, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, GT350, 85 to 86, 87 to 93, 1320 Didios, F1320, YDBT and Amory vertical, YDBT horizontal, and shirts and hoodies, Amory horizontal, shirts and hoodies, Elote Juice, ZR50, Booty Juice, Dolo, everything, stickers, Dolo sweatshirts too, and long sleeve. Good shit here. Shout out to richprince.com for just sticking with it, man. We have a nice little thing going there. So we're going to say hi to the people here. Let me get 15 minutes or so off my chest, and then we'll talk with the people. Monty 540, Nick Notch, Reflex, Laminate, Clint Stroke, Bryson Witt, Belovesh, Coyote Kelly, Bryson Witt, Frank Destroyer, Bryson Witt again, Kemzilla, Z303 Kemzilla, Z-Switch, John Bonanno, Slow 99, Wesley Stewart, Jay Bird, Tony the Truck Guy, Cobra, Jay Judd, Mustang Dennis, Jay Sikorsky, Candice Lupus, Alfredo Diaz, Clean 93 GT, Semi-Retired Street Racer, Promath, Mark Christensen, CJ426F, Donnie Renfro, Mr. Donnie Renfro. We're going to try to get him a blower We'll see what we can work out with Magnuson. I'm gonna let it marinate because I think it's worth getting the guy a blower. Joe Jackson, Alfredo Diaz, CJ, Robo Style Reflex, Lost Bills, the Mechanic, Anthony, Nardi Mercado, SVT, mile per hour, Mercury, Anthony, one of our RTR, Whipple Cripple, myself talking about how Cletus is begging his retarded Room IQ fans to not make fun of Grannas. But I somehow remember about a month ago him stirring them up for 3 days, and then they hid behind the fact that it's just grudge racing while he was getting death threats. Hello, that's racing, says Anthony De Guzman, CJ, Bondlebird, Revit Racing, SVT, Dustin Garrison, 50 Stallion, 16, Boosted GT, Reflex, Pissed Off Canadian, Nick Perry. Oh, the usual suspects. Let's go to the Magnuson Blower finalists. I made a post on Patreon. If you're not on Patreon, too bad. So, on Patreon, Magnuson Blower giveaway finalists. So this is, I'm gonna read the post that I put up this morning. So to start off, there were over 30 applications, and after vetting all of the applicants, only five people either support Patreon or the YouTube channel. Kind of crazy, but it is what it is. You'd think if you're applying for a $4,000 supercharger, you'd be a channel member. Below are the 5 finalists in no particular order. Number 1, Matt Francis. He has a 2014 Mustang with full exhaust, throttle body, cold air, stock fuel system, stock pulley blower. He goes, I just did L&M NSR cams, and it is Lund tuned. That is the best picture I have. Bryson Witt, you all know Bryson Witt. Bryson Witt is one of the mods. Bryson Witt is a OG. He has been here for a while, Tennessee native. 11 to 12 GT500, sleeve motor, ARP. He put APR main studs, so I left it in there because he misspelled it, so I left it in there. APR main studs, side studs, Manly I-beams, all this shit, pack springs, AccuFab secondary primary change, Ford Racing cam sprockets, TSS O-pump gears, T56 with the RXT 1200, UPR lower, UPR uppers, Whipple 132, no, I think it's a 140 something throttle body. You have the elliptical PMAS 120, teams the anti-roll bar, triple pump 4, P&R ice tank, Lund tune, 10% lower, 2.4 upper. He has a 2650 currently, but he wants the ported version, and he can probably get us dyno data. He has my old injectors and my old headers, and I think he has a crank support and L&M NSR cams. Miles McCullough. This guy has one of the most badass GT500s that are drag and drive capable. Miles McCullough, 2011 GT500 with a built 95 compression 5.4 with L&M NSR cams. Notice that there is a very specific mod list that they follow that just works, right? Pack springs, ported intake, 2-inch primary, long tubes, DD149, 4 triple pump, dash 10 feed, dash 8 return, FIC 1440, Z85R, faceplated TR6060, 35 line axle, spool, 5/8 studs, 850 cage, cars weighs around 3,500 without driver. Tony Dominguez, shout out to Tony Dominguez. He has a sleeve block, diamond pistons, Cobra Jet crank, NSR cams. Again, a combo that works. Ford Racing monoblade ported, which is crazy. PMAS, he's going to install the PMAS to replace the JLT at 10% overdrive, and it is beautiful. He also has a Lightning in his garage. Now, this guy, Devin Felkins, has the car that's probably the oddball, right? It's an 07. That's right. It's an 07 to 09 body style GT500. And listen to all the shit he's got going on. Devin Felkins, 5.4 motor built by Justin at J2 Fab, 11.5 compression, Gen 4, 2.9 Whipple, J2 Fab intercooler, bullet cams by the guy that likes to cut keys, AccuFab guides, diamond pistons, billet, old pump gears, Molnar, P-dub, whatever the fuck that is, rods. Double keyed factory crank, 15% overdrive, inch and 3/4 headers, Whipple elliptical, JLT 148, D-Works 1200s, which we're going to switch to 1750s if we're going to get you on a Lund tune. 4 level 4 with 3 pumps wired hot. Watt box, center force, whatever the hell that is. Ford one-piece drive shaft, MGW, UPR upper, UPR lower, strange adjustable, strange spool, 35 line, and bead lock. So these people are in the running for a $4,000 plus ported 2650. Good luck to you guys. Next week, I will put up a poll on Patreon so that you can pick the winner. Now, in the weird event that maybe 2 have like the exact same percentage, I'll make a runoff, like a playoff situation, and we'll do some other situation. We'll string it out. So we're going to have 5 finalists. We're going to put them all up to a vote. 30 people applied. And when I said, are you a channel member? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, can you show me a logo next to your username? Ghost. I watch your channel. Are you a channel member? Because I want to make sure that channel members, people that pay a monthly nut to be part of the channel, whether on Patreon or YouTube, actually get, first dibs on this situation. So luckily, 5 really good candidates with built motors and seemingly serious stuff applied. Matt Francis is the only one that's stock motor, but he can still get me some data because we all know a fuel system, 1050Xs and a 2650 is going to make the stock blower make 700 to like I don't know, 900. So he's got to be careful what pulley he puts on the 2650. So that happened. Also, today, this happened. Brett Lasala ended up running his 5-second pass, round 1 qualifying. Today was a cold day. They had a good day, so check this out.
Lasala, 108 short. Brett Lasala, top end of the racetrack, having a 597, 241 miles an hour.
That is serious. But remember, we talked about the fact that, what was it? I fucked up. 241 miles an hour. Remember, the MMR car went 260 at 560 something. So that is seriously fast. But congratulations to FFRE. Congratulations to Brett Lasala. Oh yeah, and I guess he couldn't have done it without a Motion Raceworks catch can or some dumb shit. Motion is going to put up a post. Oh, we did it with, if it wasn't for our catch cans, this car wouldn't have gone fucking 9. Clown ass company. Also, this happened, and we're going to spend a little bit of time here because I think it's going to be an interesting conversation. By the way, they were both okay. So I show this only because they're both okay. Okay? So, Grannas had a bit of a mishap, took out the other car. Awful to see. Nobody wants to see that. Awful. Everyone on the planet understands that this is the time to pray and make sure everybody is okay. Anybody with a brain cell should have seen that and gone, oh my God, I hope everyone's okay. But guess what? Nope. The sycophant, room temperature Cletus fans, of course, go in there and start saying, looks like he heard the call that time, and started making fun. So much so that your boy Cleet had to go in there and beg his fans to not be retarded. How do you beg retards to not be retarded? I don't understand how that's all going to work. You laugh, but Motion did make a post like that. Of course. Motion slaps their shit on cars that are already fast and claim that's why they went fast. Interesting stuff. But, I get it. Racers need promotion. Racers need sponsorships. Racers need money. I get it. But I don't. So I can talk all the shit I want and talk reality and let you know that I don't think anything Motion had to do with that car made it faster. Maybe the money. I get it. I get that. I understand sponsorships helps, but we all know that FFRE has a Billet Noonan in that sucker, and it is rolling. Now, speaking of Billet Noonans, what I want to do right now is I want to make a heartfelt thank you to one person that did something today for me that meant so much that I sometimes things take a while to make sense. Like sometimes things take a little long to have satisfaction, but boy, this was insanely satisfying.
He's in first, waiting on Walls. Walls in second. Line's going down. He's going to hit the tire straight. Walls will see you later. Top of the racetrack here for the Mustang. Look for a 665.7, 173 as he's out of it early.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig. I understand you have no dog in this fight. I understand you probably weren't aware of what was happening when it was happening. But I am telling you, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, there are no better instances of satisfaction than that right there. Somebody had to see a Amory logo run out of its life. I don't give a fuck if it's in qualifying. I don't care if it's at the local Publix. There is a Amory logo right in the face of somebody that fucked me over big time, and in the most satisfying way ran out of that person's life. And I was so satisfied because, one, I'm proud that, let's be honest here, Craig isn't a nobody. In the racing world, he is obviously somebody and he has chops. So I'm flattered that he watches the show. I'm flattered that he's a fan. I'm flattered that he is a follower. I'll tell you what happened when I met him. The first time I met him is I was gawking at his car. I'm like, this bitch is bad, right? And he points to me and he goes, I follow your show. I'm a subscriber. I say, get the fuck out of here. He goes, I'm a follower. I'm like, follower? He goes, I'm a subscriber. I'm a member. I'm like, bullshit. Sure enough, son of a bitch, that guy was a member, subscriber, OG. Didn't owe me nothing, didn't ask for nothing. I just appreciated the car, told me a bit about the car, bada bing, bada boom, and we figured it out. And then we've become online friends. We sent him some stickers, some hoodies, and nothing is better to represent what we represent here, which is righteousness, loyalty, integrity, not being assholes, not being retarded. And he is carrying that flag for us. And man, I'm telling you, insanely satisfying to see that today. Who cares what happens the rest of the weekend? That moment right there was worth it. It was 100% worth it because we built something here. This community built something, whether it's gay, small, stupid, irrelevant, it's our gay, small, stupid, irrelevant thing. And somebody that is legit at a legitimate event carries our flag, you got to give him a shout out. So if you're at World Cup and you got tickets and you happen to get tickets before it got sold out, please do me a favor. Go by Craig Walls' pit, take a picture of the car, give him a shout, say thank you, give him a pat on the back. Don't bother him. Get out of his face. Just thank him for representing the Amory. That was wildly satisfying. So what do you want to talk about? We talked about Brett going 5. We talked about Grannas crashing, and that's not good. And we talked about the winner or the finalists for the GT500 giveaway. Now, on the Grannas stuff, if I was Grannas, I'd hold the biggest grudge on earth because even 2 days ago, he was still getting death threats. 24 hours until we see you, right? So, but I don't know him. I don't know what's in his heart. Maybe he's religious. Maybe he is more forgiving than I am, but I'm not. I hold grudges until death, and that fuels me. And maybe to my detriment, I don't care, but it actually fuels me. So, it'd be interesting to see how that ends up, because if homeboy goes to your pits and goes, man, I hope you're okay, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my fucking pit before I suplex your ass, dickhead. But he might be more forgiving than I am because, maybe sometimes people just are better off letting go of grudges. Not me. Forever. It's for life. So when I saw that, I went, I guarantee the comments are full of shenanigans. And of course, I went on Facebook and YouTube and all this stuff and all these dumb pages. And of course, there's retarded people everywhere. And I went, interesting. Now, if I catch any of the Amory members, it's one thing to say, brush your teeth, you steal, you're a thief, fuck you. I love that. I think you should call people out on things they've done badly, but I don't think death threats or, speaking ill of him and his family and anything like that is the proper thing to do, or accusing them of something they didn't do. I even had one of the guys that was accusing another guy of doing something he didn't. I got up in his inbox and I go, I got up in his inbox and said, stop this. This is bullshit. You're lying. You're making me look bad. Stop this. And he stopped. He said, my bad. I apologize. Deleted the post. That's how it should be handled. So what are you going to do? So we'll talk to the people here. We can talk a little bit about everything, but I think the Lunds had some issues with wastegates and coils. So they were not able to make the first round pass. They went testing, found some gremlins, of course. It always happens. They found some gremlins. They found some coil issues. They found a wastegate wiring issue wastegate. And they fixed that. They did a 2-step check. Everything's good. So hopefully tomorrow they're going to be making some licks and making, some passes. I'm hoping they stuff the 275 back in there. That's me. That's me. The one that works. Boop, see ya. Like the one that works. It's been OG. No reason to change it if it's actually working. So we'll talk about that whole situation. Yeah, they legit could have died. Awful. Look, Grannas has had a very interesting last couple of weeks. Like I'm not a nut writer of Grannas. I don't know Grannas from a hole in the wall. Never met him, but I'm sure he's embroiled in some controversy before. But you can't negate the fact that the guy's an OG of the stick shift class, and I think he sponsors that class if I'm not mistaken. So Obviously, he's going to go out there and try to put his best foot forward. It's not like he means to take people out. But of course, because you have room temperature people that follow room temperature content, IQ content, you're going to start, reaping what you sow. So if you put out dumb stuff, you can't expect the fans of dumb stuff to act right. And maybe you guys don't understand where I'm coming from, and you don't have to know where I'm coming from, but I try to put out content that's a little bit highbrow, a little bit, because I got rid of YOLO because YOLO was attracting retards. And I went, oh, you know what? I don't want retards on my shit because they'll do retarded shit. So I think as the leader of the retards, he should actually, set a good example, but too late. That die is cast. So now Grannas is potentially going to be like head on a swivel the whole time because he got death threats. He got this, crazy. Then he crashes, has an unfortunate incident, takes out another car. I'm sure he feels so bad because he took out a whole, his accident caused another car to get wrecked and potentially someone to get hurt. But I hear the guy's okay. But the fact that the comments are still wild to me is not surprising because of what happened. When you agitate bullshit and then you don't do anything to mitigate that agitation, it's a snowball effect. Keith Gunn says for the Cavs, thank you so much. Next year, need to send someone big Amory flag like they do with the country flags. Dude, I'm telling you, it's one of those things where the Amory logo is going to start showing up at racetracks because I'm going to start asking Raul, how much does it cost to put one up on the scoreboard? Like on the time board. I want to see Amory everywhere. You can't get away from it. And you might think I'm not powerful enough to, and it doesn't matter. Okay, just keep doubting me. You're going to start seeing this Amory logo all over the place. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I have not seen one apology from anyone else in his crew. They're not going to apologize because they don't think they did anything wrong. They literally think that it was all fair game and part of grudge racing. That is not grudge racing. Grudge racing is you and the person talking some shit and then friendly banter back and forth. But what happened was you got millions of retards involved in making death threats and bodily harm and stuff like that to somebody. And then when they got to the track, they went above and beyond and they thought it was funny. They thought it was hilarious. Look, we're just grudge racing. It's funny. And remember, I got on the chat and I said, do not go to the track. Do not go to their house. Grudge race them here. I think he could have avoided a whole bunch of bullshit. What are you going to do? Saw that Tremec might be coming out with a manual for the C8. I don't care. Michael Anthony, this is why. It's not going to be better than the DCT for performance. So why would you complicate your life and buy a $25,000 transmission and then pay somebody $45,000 to $50,000 to install it only to have a slower vehicle? I don't understand it. Joining in late, still at work. Does anyone know how Craig Walls did? So Craig Walls qualified with a 655. He ended up just kind of like doing a lick, first round, nothing crazy. He is running the, not Renegade. What is it? Modified versus, I don't know. Who the fuck knows? But the class that's quicker than Warriors versus Tres Cuarto, which is like a low 6-second class, like a 640 and under class. He ended up going 655, letting off early, just getting a feel for the track. I'm telling you, when you look at that track, the dude is on the money. His reaction time, like the guy's a veteran. Like you could tell, like this guy's been there before. And one great thing to see when you watch this World Cup stuff is the crew, are the people. When you watch World Cup, watch how professional some crews are and how unprofessional other crews are. And when that usually happens the most is when you have, let's be honest, white people on one side and Puerto Ricans on the other. So one of the races, and I wish I could pull it up, the guy, this is like an unspoken sportsmanship amongst, let's say, the guy that's staging you. So at every race, you're going to see a guy that's pulling the guy up to the first beam. You put your foot, you look, and you see if the first beam is lit with your toe, and then you bring it back like an inch or 2 or 3, and then you put the tire up against your foot. So you're doing this to the driver, right? Now, if the other guy, let's say you're in the left lane, when you're pulling up, you look up as courtesy and see how far the next guy is, right? So you're like, so you pause your guy. You pause your guy. And then what happens? The other guy usually looks back and that guy's looking at you. Oh, we're both ready. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Pop. bump the hood, give the guy a thumbs up, then they stage, pre-stage, and go. No, the bullshit. Puerto Ricans are the worst. Puerto Ricans are opening doors, closing doors. 5 people are going up against the car, looking at him, touching a bunch of shit. And they got a guy with Lutz, the guy with a blower Camaro. I think one guy went up. It's like, line them up and gone. Every other Puerto Rican with a Starlet has 17 guys opening and closing doors, and a girl with leggings, a fat girl with leggings, like lining them up. So I saw one of the white guys get frustrated at the Puerto Rican guy. He's like, what the fuck? Like, hey, no courtesy, no look back, no nothing. And I'm like, you could tell what crew is really professional. And Craig Walls' crew is very professional. It's very nice to see. I was about to say, that was a clear example of someone who has no clue what grudge racing is. Exactly. I swapped my console shifter. Oh, what's happening? Rad Dad is dead. Come on, read the room. Fixing something in the trans now, changing converters too. Tremec has made the manual transaction for kit cars, and people have the ability to use CA components, axle spindles, and hubs. I don't think that is going to be a viable thing. I don't think a lot of people are going to buy a manual transaxle situation for the C8 Corvette because it's not any better than the DCT. Now, if you want to, for whatever reason, shift gears, that's fine. I think that's all good. But you know, Corvette guys are going to have the auto. Corvette guys are not generally going to have the stick, but they have some money because boomers, look, let's be honest. Boomers robbed not my generation, but they robbed millennials and Gen Z so that they can stay rich. Right? Like boomers bought a 3.2 in 1980 for $150,000 at, 2% interest, or maybe 1990. Right? And then all of a sudden you 2 or 3 generations pass and that house for no fucking reason is now $560,000 and you have to get a mortgage for that at 6.5%. And I'm like, wait a minute. How is that? That doesn't make any sense. But they're enjoying their money now, and they're just going to take their money to the fucking grave. They're not going to pass it down to anybody. So maybe a boomer with a C8 Corvette wants to put a manual in his shit because he doesn't want to give it to his Gen Z grandson or whatever because he's a spoiled little brat and he wants to just dump his money into his Corvette. Who knows? Big Cap, come on, man. We are super professional. No, you're not. Puerto Ricans are the worst. I'm Puerto Rican. I know my people. Go to Puerto Rico. Go to Puerto Rico and tell me how often the lights are on in Puerto Rico. That's right. Go to Puerto Rico right now and tell me if there's electricity right now in certain neighborhoods. You know all about that, don't you? It's all about professionalism and preparing. And Puerto Ricans are not that professional, but they build really fast cars. Not to mention the dude dusting off his tires while he backs up. Dude, Puerto Ricans are so extra with their shit. It's not even funny, but it's interesting to watch. Like you're going to watch World Cup Saturday during qualifying at nighttime, and it's going to be a packed house. Actually, Saturday at noon, it's going to be a packed house. Everywhere, elbow to elbow, all over the place. And that's when the Puerto Ricans start to show off the most. They start to wave the flag. They start to do the extra shit. They open and close the door 500 times. They bump the guy. They touch the guy. They open the... Oh, my God. Also, if you only have drag slicks on the back with tires on the front, you back into the water box, you don't drag water. What is happening, Curse Garage? Forgive my lack of knowledge. Which enemy did Craig defeat? The name that shall not be spoken here. Maybe it makes its way to the C9, but GM won't put us into the C8 at this point in the life cycle. Gen Z can't drive a manual. My 50-year-old coworker said his first house was $60,000, and now it's $300,000 plus. Boomers robbed every other generation, and that's basically policy. Let's be honest, policy did that. So let me look up the post where I talked about, because I'm so what do you call it? I'm so it's kind of scary, my ability to kind of tell the future. Let me see. Race part, keeping your passion. Money, something about 5 seconds. I talked about it here. 5 supercharger, 8 HP swaps, precision, big wings, no prepper. Oh, here you go. Lasalas, 5s. Here you go. Listen to this, kids. So I'm Nostradamus. I'm Nostradamus. Okay. This was posted like 2 or 3 days ago. Lasala potentially running 5s is going to be a big one. This is why. If you see the clips from last year, that car went 608 at 230 something miles an hour, like 234 or something like that. So if they can get a run together and the Billet Noonan, because it is now Billet Noonan equipped with a stock GT350 cast head, I think it's got VCT. I think if that thing runs fives, MMR is going to have to take out that gray car, dust it off. Let me dust off this gray car to let people know this thing still got it, and bust off another 560 just to let everyone know that people got a long way to go. I think that should happen. And that's not to like grudge race or talk shit. I just think it would stir up a lot of competition, and it'll bring, because I don't know MMR. I know their reputation precedes them, right? A lot of people don't like MMR because of past QC issues, engines. Like, there's a lot to dislike, and they're a little litigious, right? Like they'll sue you if you speak badly about their products, or if you, whatever. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get sued. But let's say they're like, Alex, that's a good point. We're going to take out the car on a private test session. It doesn't have to be an event, and go up, bust off another 560, and then park it and say, when you can run close to this, we'll start talking. Now, do I know for a fact that there are a couple of pro mod style cars right now in the middle of getting built with Coyote engines? Absolutely. In the next year or so, you're going to start seeing legitimate pro mod cars. Like, there's one right now at World Cup that is full outlaw trim, and he is looking to run fours in the quarter mile. And when you see that thing go, it looks downright scary. It's so fast, it does not make sense. But I think once a billet, everything Coyote ends up in a pro mod, like a proper pro mod, I think 570s, 580s are there. Because Brett's car is not a pro mod. And we had a watcher say, oh, he's got a pro mod. No, that car, if I'm not mistaken, runs coolant or water through the block. Street car. It's basically, I don't know the chassis style because I'm not that well versed, but it's like the step below pro mod shit. You know what I mean? Like Pro 275, LDR, Billy Badass stuff. There are a couple. I've seen them with my eye sockets. Some guy with big money wanted to get into racing, hit up FFRE, said, hey, I got money, so let's get something going. Has a chassis being built, has a Coyote in it. So if that car actually makes its way to tracks, let's say, for instance, you take Brett's car, his motor, and you put it in a pro mod, I don't think it's going to gain 20 miles an hour, because that's what it's going to take to run in the 560s or quicker. But I definitely think it'll be easier into the 580s, or let's talk 8th mile trim, 370 or 360. Right? 8th mile trim, 370 or 360. What runs 370 or 360? All the badass shit. The Pro line this, that, because Brett has gone 3.8 with the cast stuff, with the billet stuff. In those conditions, again, guys, those runs are made in optimal, don't exist conditions. That's why that event is so wild. The time of year, the track conditions, the Miller prep, the negative DA, and today it was the coldest day they're going to have all weekend. They're projecting some rain or something for Saturday. So I think it'll be interesting to see if Brett can go any quicker, because if that engine goes 5.8, 589, imagine that motor, trans, management in a proper pro mod chassis. It'll be just as quick as all the Billy Badass shit out there. Just as quick as all the Billy Badass shit out there. So I think it'll be a lot of interesting people that are going to keep an eye on what that car's progress. And they're like, it's a little motor compared to the, 4.8, 4.9, all this crazy big block pushrod stuff with big massive 100s on each side, or 90s or 88s or whatever the fuck they got on those things. I think it'll be a very interesting thing to see what happens if they put that kind of powertrain in a pro mod. Again, and then all the Chevy guys are going to be like, fuck, right? I get it, it's billet, but it's a Coyote, bro. It's a 5 liter. It blows my mind. And with the billet Noonan, can they make a stroker out of it? Can they make a 318? Can they make a 320? Can they make a 350? Can they make a 340? You know, it'll be interesting to see. Unfortunately, my store manager is lazy Dominican. He has massive ego and thinks he's better than all the US techs because he used to supposedly be a master tech at Honda and he can never be wrong. You have to walk away from Puerto Ricans and Dominicans in terms of making sense. They think they're the shit. They literally think Bad Bunny is something to celebrate. Bad Bunny's going to Super Bowl. Bro, that is political. That's Jay-Z just shoving it in your face. Jay-Z tells the Super Bowl who to do because the NFL, you know, kowtows to bullshit. So people literally are proud of Bad Bunny. Proud. Literally. A guy that wears a dress. Proud of him. So you got to walk away from Puerto Ricans because they're unreasonable people. That's why I'll never go to Orlando Speed World, right? If you go to Orlando Speed World, you're going to be racing. Let's say you want to go on a Sunday fun day. There are going to be quads, scooters. Guys, you think I'm kidding? There are going to be hopped up scooters, quads, and heaven forbid a rotary shows up. They will all take priority over your car. Unless you have a Mech Tech K-Series Pro Mod, good luck getting multiple runs in. They're going to let the scooters, the quads, the Banshees, the rotaries, everything take priority. And you with an American car paying your ticket are probably not going to get prioritized. I'm good. Don't know about proud. I don't know about proud about a weird dude. I get it, Ricky, but you understand that that's the minority. The majority of Puerto Ricans love that fucking guy. But you know what type of Puerto Ricans love that guy, right? You know, did you know that Puerto Rico, like the biggest thing to study up until the 2000s was engineering? Like the amount of Puerto Rican engineers I know is ridiculous. Now they're all reggaeton artists. MMR says a forged rotating assembly for the Coyote. It was planning on picking it up from a Gen 1 build. Do you recommend a different route? Look, I am not going to talk badly about MMR because I have zero experience with MMR. I'm just going to tell you this. What are your goals? Every single motor I've seen that has been robust, like Murillo, this guy Murillo has a blue S197. He had a stage 3 FFRE motor in his car for 3 years running low sevens. I'm saying 730, 740, 720. And I think recently he went 7.1. So if that motor can last 3 years in a car that races a decent amount, what the fuck are you doing? Just get a FFRE stage 3. But if for whatever reason you want to build something new and different and weird, then go ahead, get an MMR stroker kit. Negative DA is for the win, negative 35. According to MMR, the website, their tall deck Coyote is 351 Cleveland. As a Rican, I agree. I stay away from my own people for the most part. See, you're probably one of the smart ones, right? You know which ones. Lo reggaetonero. Like right now, what is the biggest industry in Puerto Rico? Drugs. And Trump is blowing them out of the water. Two-stroke scooters for the win. I went for engineering. I know. There you go. And you guys might be making fun like the ones that don't know. Guys, Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans, when I was growing up, again, I'm 47, so I'm older. Most of them wanted to study engineering. And they came out of school with an engineering degree, some kind of doctorate, dentist. I know many Puerto Rican dentists. I know many Puerto Rican doctors, raised right, good people. It's just what you see in the pop culture side of things that makes you think that they're all fucked up. Bought a timing kit from MMR years ago. Didn't send what was advertised. They send it back for a 30% restocking fee, so you're shit out of luck. He says, fuck MMR. You can tell Ricky's Puerto Rican because he's flying the flag as his PFP, Moth to a Flame. FFRE is the only place I'd go to for built engine. And, you know, I'm really happy for Joe. But if Brett's car survives the weekend running 5s, Joe's going to be so fucking busy, it's not even funny. Because there's an inherent advantage of running a motor like that. And if you run Holly stuff, and if you run Fuel Tech, you can tune it if the cams are locked out. It's just an engine at that point. Like the Fuel Tech doesn't know it's a Coyote except for the firing order. But if the cams aren't being controlled, it's just a matter of like, where do you want timing and how much RPM, right? Where do we shift it? 9,800. Oh shit, what? Yeah, 9,800. Whoa. Oh, look, we can actually manage the power because it has a very, broad power curve. And oh, wow, this thing is so easy out of the hole and you can just pour the power in. So you're going to start seeing people going from like a SMX, a big block, whatever the fuck, to a little tight, high revving billet V8. the Coyote. So I think Joe, if he actually gets this thing surviving the weekend and the car runs good, he is going to be a busy man. And it couldn't have happened to a better person, because not only has he rolled out the red carpet for, look, I felt like he rolled out the red carpet for me, and I'm a nobody. You understand? And maybe it's the Lund connection, and I understand that. I'm not stupid. I'm not ignorant. That I don't think that. I think that does come into play, the fact that I work for Lund. I don't think if I wasn't working for Lund, people wouldn't treat me a certain way, or they treat me better or worse. Who knows? But, you can't think about that too much. The fact of the matter is I do work for Lund. The fact of the matter is I do support people that do good work, and he rolled out the red carpet for me, and I'm a fucking nobody. So, of course, when people treat me right, I'm going to look out for them. If you don't get a Noonan billet motor, you're a clown, says Meaty Bat Madman. Even Cletus is running an FFRE motors as Fox Body McFlurry. Yeah, don't know about that. PR women got big bussies, though. Nah, Puerto Rican women got attitudes. I wouldn't date a Puerto Rican girl. Not now. Maybe she's 50. Old school. Madman Manny. Plan for strictly streetcar. Just trying to have fun. Build at the bottom end for the option of a safe boost later. Looking to build a cruiser, but I can still get down. Stock Gen 2 motor. A stock Gen 2 motor, a stock Gen 3 motor. Why do you need a stroker kit from MMR? Craig is busy. Craig is probably having a steak somewhere at Wold. Where the fuck is the name? What's the name of the town they stay in? It's like a really bad black neighborhood. Like that MIR track is the next closest town is like the murder capital of like Maryland or something. I'm kidding. I don't know, but it's not a good neighborhood. Running fives in factory cast block is wild. It's not a factory cast block. Rad Dad is dad. He ran fives in a billet block. He ran 6-0 in a cast block. Joe's dad's marine motors were the shit. Yeah, if you look at his story, it's very good. He still trusted you, says. Yeah, he took care of me on a couple of things that he didn't have to take care of me on. He educated me on a couple of things he didn't have to educate me on. He gave me the whole tour. He talked to me about their methodology. He talked to me about their future plans. And I'm like, wow, why is he telling me this? And maybe he saw that, hey, if John Lund hires you, trusts you, because a lot of people don't realize what I got going on here. Because they say, Alex, you don't know how to tune, you know what the fuck you're doing. So they take clips, cut them out of context, and say, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Then why does John Lund trust me 300 miles away with millions of dollars worth of files on a laptop with no supervision? Answer that question, and then in the same breath say, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So if John trusts me enough with his company's files on my computer, okay, I would think Joe is like, well, he's part of the family. The guy obviously trusts him, and he hasn't done him wrong. So I'm going to roll out the red carpet. Now, that's not to say that he's doing it for John or anything, but he maybe just genuinely likes me, or maybe he is doing the right thing and going, hey, he's part of the family, I'm going to treat him the right way. I thought it was interesting that I got the red carpet rolled out, and I was flattered, to be honest with you. Do you think they'll make a larger cubic inch one since they're now making them out of billet? I think that's the next move, Garage Built Coyote. And obviously because FFRE is a smaller outfit, you need a lot of capital. You need a lot of money to have somebody work with you on a billet motor. Like what's it take? Think about this. Think about what it takes to make a billet Coyote that is distinctly your own, and that it has the design cues that you want to instill in that programming. Let's talk about clamping force. Let's talk about material, amount of material in certain parts of the cylinder. You know what I mean? So all of that has to be mapped out. All of that has to be, figured out. All of that has to be paid for. And then it has to be tested. Then it has to be put in a car. Then it has to be run. And this is the byproduct. So once that gets vetted, then they start talking about cylinder heads. That's right. Because if I'm not mistaken, they're still using Predator / GT350 Ford cast cylinder heads on the thing. So the next logical step is billet cylinder heads, right? And then you have to design the cylinder heads to have extra holes for clamping, because you're going to run 60, 70, 80, 100 PSI through it. That's right, guys. You're going to start seeing some dumb boost numbers once they get everything they want going. then maybe they'll start saying, all right, let's throw a stroker situation in here. What can we gain? Do we need more bottom end? Do we even need to stroke it? Do we just leave it alone and ride out? Winberg, Crank, Billet, Noonan, Billet, Head, Plasma Man, Motion Raceworks, catch cans, and go ahead and run 5s. As you can tell, not a Motion fan. That party's just getting started. They probably got good food though. Is MMR locked out cams? Of course, D-Rock Box. Waldorf. That's right, Waldorf. Okay, how many murders were in Waldorf, RF, Maryland in 2024? Not an exact number. What county is there? Violent crime rate. The violent crime rate in Waldorf is higher than in most communities of all population sizes in America, with a chance of becoming a victim of a violent crime, such as being 1 in 237, which equates to a rate of 4 per 1,000 inhabitants. This is the general rate and not specific to 2024. Okay, so it's just a bad neighborhood, not like the worst neighborhood, but worse than normal. So someone said that Craig Walls was in the chat earlier. I apologize if you were in here, Craig. I wanted to thank you personally. What you did today was just so gangster, and you probably didn't even... Let me ask you a question, Craig. Here he is, dropping a like, and I'm running. Got a transmission to put back in the car. There he is. So, Craig, when you get a chance, do me a favor. What were you thinking when you lined up against him? What were you thinking when you're like, oh, you know the story. You're a follower. So you must have been like, maybe it don't matter to him, but it matters to Alex. You know, because you cut a ridiculously good light. You know what I mean? And I went, boy, sheesh. This motherfucker was on. He was, you know, like qualifying. You could 0.2, 0.3. You know what? You know, no, dude. Craig was like, woo, boo, 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 boo. Like, I was like, whoa, this guy is on it. And then I saw that run and I went, you know, the Denzel Washington, or no, the meme that came to mind is the Leonardo DiCaprio crying meme, which they use for racist stuff on Instagram all the time. Maybe you have covered this before, but why does Lund not support HP tuners for a Gen 1? Because of the licensing process. For whatever reason, licensing a Gen 1 is a major pain in the butt. And you got to understand, we work on volume. So think about it this way. We're a production company. We have a production file system, and we have, in essence, a production line and a production process. The guys that tune at 12 midnight, those guys can... they do 3 a day, maybe 7 tops. I do 7 in 30 minutes. So, the production line can't be stopped, because then it throws a wrench in the whole production line. Imagine you were ka-junk in F-150s in a production line, and then all of a sudden goes, hey, throw a Mustang in there, throw a Maverick in there, throw a EcoBoost Mustang in there. What? Yeah. Stop the production line, retool the whole motherfucker to make one car. Well, that was what was happening with certain files. So then we said, well, now that SET is back in the game, now that the LRX is doing great, we can probably not support the biggest problem child in licensing, and that is Gen 1, based on our production system. Just because you as a tuner in California making memes and shitty videos, or in North Dakota, or in Texas, or in shit-ass Florida, or you have fat chicks on Ozempic defending you, just because your process is a certain way does not mean we follow your process. We don't follow your process, dickhead. We follow our process. It is a distinct process we follow. Boom, 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 boom. So if it's a production style system, production line, cranking them out, and one file fucks it all up, SCT or LRX. Because now we're on a level playing field. For 5 years, we were only tied to one product because of government bullshit. Once all that went away, we're back on a level playing field. So we have SCTs, we have LRXs, and we have HP tuners. So we can support it all. So we can say, you know what? The biggest problem child here is Gen 1. So get rid of Gen 1 for HP tuners, but we can still support Gen 1 with SCT and LRX. Bada bing, bada boom. Craig thought, I'm going to bury him. I'd love to know, but I don't want to. I also don't want to put Craig in a weird position. Craig, maybe you can email me so you don't have to like mention it. Maybe you can email me the answer. You know what I mean? I'm just making sure he didn't text me. Okay. Because sometimes people don't want to get involved in the beef. To me, the beef is not there anymore, but man, when bad things happen to homeboy, I love it. TKM made a bill at Coyote heads. Yeah, but they're not going to like, you know, FFRE's like, you know what? Let me just sell those heads. No, they're going to make their own. FFRE makes a bill of block Coyote for performance. Be like, all y'all had werewolf mode. FFRE makes a bill of block Coyote for performance. Be like, y'all hadn't tried our werewolf motor? Could you imagine? They're like, why did you guys put a, hey, Joe, I don't understand why you guys went ahead and made a billet engine. Do you know that we have the, do you know that we have the, do you know that we have the werewolf? But hey, Joe. Yeah, this is Ray Schlackenberg from Ford Performance. Yeah. So congratulations on going 5s at World Cup. That was excellent. What'd you do? Yeah, we got a billet motor in there. You're crazy. Why didn't you try our werewolf? Because it's a piece of shit. I remember the day PRI that they announced that, and a guy I used to respect his opinion, said, finally, Ford released a cast Coyote motor. Cast what? Cast iron. Whatever. Not aluminum. I said, so it's heavier. Yeah, but you can make 2,000 horsepower like the Lunds are doing, like FFRE's doing, like TKM is doing on stock shit that's sleeved. Also, it was indeed Breadman. That's how I figured it was. Sorry, I have no knowledge of the drag racing game. You're better off. And someone gets mad at me. They're like, Alex, why do you hate this so much? And you talk about it because I can make money talking about it, stupid. What did it do, Theo? Not too funny, Twin Turbo Yodi. What did Twin Turbo Yodi say? Say something stupid? Alex, you read his first comment? Alex? Damn it. Stop it. You're making me go all the way back up. Let me see. Mr. Billet Noonan himself. Okay. Dude, I have to go back. Oh my God, there's 1,000 comments. Thing's going to freeze. Craig Walls. Is this Craig? No. Toxic. The Blue Thunder. Amir's are here. Nope, no Craig Walls. Damn it. Yeah, sorry. To find his comment, it's buried. Unless he did a super chat, I'll never find his comment. Why billet when cast iron is stronger? Just kidding. 5.0 Phil, he says, props on it. As I'm currently learning by tuning on HP tuners, definitely not easy. So I appreciate you all as a company. Fuck anyone who bitches about copy-paste tunes. Yeah, they don't understand. If you have something done and you took months to refine it, why would you then forget all of it and start over again? No, you take that tune, you put it in the next car, and then you change the math, the inject, whatever's different, gear ratio, and then you start it, and you're like, oh, look, it's 75% there. Still not one werewolf block anywhere. Racing, boat anchor, iron block. Ford is probably pissed because there is a warehouse full of those things. Ford Performance does not talk to the aftermarket. I told you guys, right now, they're touting a 900 horsepower Raptor R with a fucking Whipple supercharger. Like, holy shit, Ford. Aren't you tired? And they're like, well, the 2650 didn't have enough intercooling. So let's shove a whole different blower on it. Look, I'm just tired of whoever is in charge of anything at Ford Performance. Did you know that there's a SEMA show happening right now? And they're saying, well, we got a 300 horsepower Maverick. Who gives a fuck? Well, it's going to sell a $50,000 300 horsepower Maverick. That's what we're doing? Well, yeah, we also have a 900 horsepower Raptor with a Whipple. So what's stopping somebody from just saying, I'm just going to buy a Whipple and put it in. I'm not going to buy the specific package you put out there. Because now they're tunable. 24 and up Raptor Rs are tunable. So why would someone need to buy your kit? Warranty? Come on, stop it. Not the sleeves. Those are weak. Oh, Alfredo Diaz, I love you. Bro, only the real ones know that comment. Guys, cut keys and get off the line. TT Yodi about to get roasted. What do you say? I don't see anyone named TT Yodi. Let me look up. TT Yodi. Nope. Dad is dad. Asking about F-150 stuff. Dad is dad. Garage. I don't see anyone named Twin Turbo Yodi. No. Sixuki, 50 Noe, Slow 99, Miniback 1,000 times, Ricky. Oh, here you go. TTS Cobra says, hello, I'm late. So no, I don't need any TT Yodi here. Maybe I blocked them. Redman also did motor work for Grey Goose. Wonder why there was motor issues when they switched to FFRE. And you know what, JD Swag, that's their story to tell. I can. The problem with me is, right, I am fiercely loyal. And I think that's like a feature of Puerto Ricans. It could be misguided sometimes. It's like a pit bull. You can kick a pit bull 1,000 times and like damn near kill him, and he's always gonna come back and love you, right? Fiercely loyal. I think Puerto Ricans are similar. So when someone doesn't give me that same energy back, I feel some type of way about it. But I'm learning, the older I get, that they're not built that way. Those people are not built that way. Certain people are not built the way I'm built. So I can't expect someone else to act the way I'm going to act. But I'm telling you, when people do, when people do, I love it. When people do something, Jake, I'll give you the example, Jake. And again, I'm not going to tell you the company he was like, I don't fuck with them no more. I'm like, why? Because they fucked with you. And I'm like, I damn near shed a tear, bro. I was like, you'd do that for me? You'd go to war for me? He goes, yeah, fuck these people. Someone you blocked. Oh, I guess so. I don't know. Screenshot of Twin Turbo Coyote on Patreon. Okay, let me see. Let's go to Patreon. That's the nice thing about Patreon. We can talk shit here. So someone talks shit or because then they hide behind it being a joke. Let me see here. What's it saying? Yeah. See that's expected. That's expected because those people basically he made a wall joke about Joel Grannas, and it's not a joke. It's actually something that I think it's something that someone could have died, and the guy had his family threatened, and the guy had his life threatened. And then he got clowned by a whole bunch of people that are very popular in the industry and have created the most toxic fan base, the most toxic racing culture, and everybody ignores it if it can benefit them. I blocked people today that fucks with them. People that I've known for 9-10 years. I'm like, block. Because if you co-sign on the shenanigans, or if you're blissfully ignorant on the shenanigans, they didn't make fun of me. I got no problem with them. They didn't make fun of me. That attitude doesn't fly here. That shit does not fly on this channel. Well, they didn't fuck with me. No, they fucked with an OG racer. And had the stirred up bullshit. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to air out. I'm just going to say, I don't want to fuck with you anymore. People I've known for 10 plus years. I have thinned down my list. And it's going to be just like 300 people and all from the Amory. Fuck everyone. Listen, Alex, us guys from Mass are going to go hard as fuck. Hard as fuck. Any Wang halves in here? We got any Wang halves in this motherfucker? We know what that is. Guys, Got you. Yeah, after it bites you. Could go 5-6 with the iron block from Ford. Chat going Karen mode. Checking in late, but I'm here. I'll catch a replay later. That Coyotes year one on the road yet? Haven't been for a while. No. So because Grey Goose had to get touched up, Brian had to do some work on Grey Goose to, get some work done for World Cup. So they're all at World Cup. Joe, Brian, Junior, Senior, Devin, Parker. And, the car's not going to get worked on probably for another week after that. So I probably won't get the car back here for another 2 weeks. There is starting to be many coincidences happening. What do you mean, Garage Bill Coyote? Give me an example. The same people that would make fun of Grannas are the same people that made fun of Charlie Kirk's death. Exactly. And that's okay. I just don't associate with them. But this is the thing. People put their hand out. And if that camp starts, helping people, they're like, oh, they helped me, I'm cool. No, you don't get it. And this is what drag racing is becoming. Exactly, wang halves, I'm telling you. This is what drag racing became. That whole crew and everyone in the drag racing industry wants a piece of that. And I said, you guys are co-signing on retardation. I can't be a part of this. And that's okay, I'm a nobody. But don't wonder why I don't fuck with you. If you see the stuff that's happening, if your eyes are closed to the stuff that's been happening and how people move, and you ignore it because you can benefit from it, I don't want to fuck with you. You're either in the Amory or you're either with the Amory or against the Amory. People these days have no morals, empathy, or discipline. I was going to say something similar, Blue Thunder, big ol' wang. Hey, Alex, what do you think about BC Forge wheels or Velgens? Velgens are good. I don't know much about BC Forge, but I like Velgen. He is local. Yeah, wang have, if you know, you know. All that premix and weed smoke, exactly. Wait until you see the Saturday, the Saturday video, Flow Racing, sun goes down, all the smoke coming out from the stands, all weed. Do a gym worn t-shirt giveaway, Alex. Nah, it's funny. Would this year one be ready around April of next year? Probably. I would say probably, because when I get it back, guys, I got to do everything else. I got to do all of the programming. There's going to be a bunch of CAN bus stuff from Minton that I'm working with, or I haven't heard shit, but he's a busy guy, so I'm not going to rag on him because I need him. I got to put the control system. I got to get the injectors. I got to get the fuel system. I got to get the brakes done. I got to get God, there's a lot to do. You don't see Brett. I don't think Brett should associate with Cletus. He's a grown-ass man. He can do whatever he wants. I don't care. All I do is not associate with people that associate with that camp. And if you wonder why I am cold shouldering everyone around, is because you're part of that camp. I don't have a personal beef against you. I don't know you. But the other thing is, I don't want to know you. Hey, Alex, are there any trouble with the IRS of a GT 600, 700 horsepower from a dig? Yeah, it shakes like a motherfucker, Juan. So you're... Juan Bruneda. Yeah, you're going to get a bunch of wheel hops. So some of the things to mitigate that is to just tighten up the bushings. Steeda, stop the hop kit. Steeda, drag springs. Steeda, bushings. Steeda, everything in the rear end. With Grannas, ever since that grudge race, there are becoming too many coincidences with things going wrong. I don't think so. I don't think there is a sabotage play. I just think that Grannas is a smaller operation that is lean and mean, and maybe they overlook things, or maybe he just bad track conditions, whatever the case may be. But that's just bad luck. Had to hop on and say sorry, says Omega. Sent you a message a minute ago and forgot it was Thursday. Hours have been working to mess up my concept of time. I bet. I literally did not receive anything. Props to what you've built here, Alex. Your standard will be noticed over time. See, and that's the thing. I don't need to be the best. I don't need to have 1 million subs. I need to have like 1,000 solid ass motherfuckers. I'm saying 1,000 solid ass motherfuckers can do damage. And over time, you're going to see that the route drag racing is taking is the wrong route. Because eventually it's going to kick you in the ass. Eventually you're going to disagree with something that happens with the norm of that audience. And you're going to say, I don't like this. And when you don't like this, you will get death threats. And you're going to go, oh, this is what Alex was talking about. This is what Alex was trying to avoid when he stopped being YOLO douchebag. This is what he was warning us about the whole time. I'm like, yeah, drag racing is open arms embracing that audience. And I'm like, you will regret that decision. Trust me, because if you put all your eggs in that basket, it's going to be a bad look. Trust me. How many micro records will be broken at World Cup? So, Coyote VCT record, 6R80 record. We still have it. So you're going to see probably Grey Goose. If Grey Goose might... Okay. I'm going to make a prediction because I'm good at making predictions. They're going to make a couple of hits. And then they're going to put the 275s back on. And then that 275 is going to go... 649 at 220. We'll see. Didn't Cleet possibly give away your phone number? Yeah, he must have given my number to Kyle, the fucking homo that runs 1320 video and puts dicks on cars. And, you know, I regret helping him because I did help Cleet at one point get a blower from VMP. And I regret that to this day because I'm like, why? Because I thought I was being a good employee, right? I worked at VMP. I wanted to promote. I'm like, oh, they're putting a Trinity. I'm sorry, a mod motor on a Crown Vic. So I hit up Justin. I said, Justin, I think you should give this guy a blower. He's like, why? I'm like, it'll get seen. So he goes, do you have his contact info? I go, actually, I do. He gave me his contact info at Streetcar Takeover. So I said, hey, man, can I give your number to Homeboy so you guys can shh. And he did. And they did. And guess who didn't get credit? I'm good. And then he ends up giving a number to a guy who literally stole the name of this show because no other podcasts were named the same thing. No other live streams were named the same thing. And he just changed one letter. Cooper was like, well, it's not the same thing. I like a Cooper Baguetti's like all of a sudden a car YouTuber. He's like, oh, it's not the same thing. Shift and shit. That's it. The podcast shift and shit. I don't see the correlation. Someone does not want where their bread is buttered to go away. It's unfortunate Junior gets dragged into that camp doing the forward stuff. Again, they're grown men. I'm not going to tell them who not to talk to. I'm not going to tell them who not to do business with. I'm not going to tell them who not to associate with. 321 builds for 900 horsepower. Smart. Yeah, 900 horsepower is pretty good. Again, 900 horsepower is 100 horse past the safe limit. I would say 750 to 850 is perfect for a Gen 3 bottom end or Gen 2 bottom end. But at 900, you're getting into the, maybe shit will go wrong zone. But that doesn't mean that it won't last for a long time. Alex Maximo once used gym shorts. Got it. 321 is literally recipe for 900. Exactly. Quality over quantity. Grannas was having axle issues during testing. That sucks. Maybe he lost an axle and it took a hard right. We're going to see the 639 at 225. I hope so. For evil to succeed, it only takes good men to do nothing. I agree. I honestly think that whole camp is evil hiding under wholesomeness. Let's talk about something, right? Yeah, he's washed. So, wasn't there drama with like remember? Okay, what's that guy who used to fuck with Homeboy? I don't want to mention the name so much because I don't want the algorithm to go crazy. The guy with the beard. The LS tuner with the beard. Let's talk about that. What was his name? The LS tuner with the beard. Big beard. Nice guy. Knowledgeable guy. I liked the guy a lot. But he used to fuck with them. And he had a big old, oh, stop it, mini bike. Jesus. They just had a baby. Stop it. Yes. Faster proms. Was there not drama there? Right. Jeremy. Right? Jeremy from Auto. Right? They did a video where it looked like he was a hostage. Where they were like, well, let's clear the air about something. Right? Yeah, exactly. But we're talking about it. And I saw a video clip somewhere where he was like, I'm telling you, man, we're still cool. We're still tight. Everything. And I'm like, bro, you're from Bradenton. Talk like you're from Bradenton. So I guess there was an issue with like poaching an employee or something. Like wasn't there an issue with like an employee that used to work for him that went to work for the other camp? And it was like, bro, you're poaching my employee. What are you doing? And it was weird. Now, I don't know this to be true, but wasn't it something along those lines? A poach job? Because it looked like an Al-Qaeda hostage video when they we're still tight. It's all good. It was just a misunderstanding. And I went, So I don't know about that. But I know that he was on this channel and now he ends up on this channel. Right? So yeah, he seems like a great guy. How come they don't fuck with him no more? Right? How come you don't see homie fuck with him anymore? Right. That guy, I guarantee, has great stories. But again, I'm not going to go on a whole fucking vendetta tour. But the way you act when the cameras are off is how you are. The camera's on, you can portray yourself as anything you want. You can lie to people, and if you're talented enough to lie to people, you can portray yourself as a likable, lovable person. But when the lights are off and the cameras are off, and what you do in behind the scenes, that defines you. And I know enough about that shit to makes me go, I'm good. I'll pass on that shit. Jeremy's an OG. His dad rode tunes on chips and shit. Buenos Dias guy, exactly. Squirrel was with him. I think the dude ported heads for Jeremy. His father had ties with Lingenfelter and was a legit tuner back in the 80s. I don't really see Faster Problems making videos anymore. Why do you think that is? Right. There was something weird there. So, it's a poach job, potentially. But I don't know because I'm not. But I saw the video and it looked weird. Guys, do me a favor, guys. Guys on Patreon, I'm going to task you something. Dig into that. Let's go back in time and see what people do behind closed doors. And watch the video with that Jeremy guy and your boy. And it sounds like they're like explaining something, like some kind of beef they're trying to explain to their fans that they're still tight and they're still cool. And I'm like, don't look at the people that fuck with them. Look at the people that used to fuck with them and now don't fuck with them. Why not? Interesting. Bocat1555 says, hey, Alex, do you think my 1080 would live with a positive displacement blower on pump gas? I'd rather have that over the centrifugal type blowers. But I remember you said 1080s don't like torque. Well, if you got a Whipple, you don't have to worry about torque. You got to worry about the rotors rubbing. You don't got to worry about torque. So this is what I would do if I were you. If you keep it at a very basic boost level, 10 to 12, I think you're okay with a stock transmission for a very long time. You're not generating enough torque to twist the earth and get it off its axis. I just think that it's going to be not so happy once grip happens. Like once grip happens and high torque, you'll start seeing issues sooner than later. But if you keep it at 10 to 12 PSI tops, Whipple, E-Force, Magnuson, anything will do just fine. When they broke off something, switch my gotcha. I would consider this difficult just because of IITs. No. At 10 to 12 PSI, you're not going to have IIT issues with any supercharger. It did look weird, but it seemed like a lot walking eggshells all the way around. I need you guys to dig into that. Slow99, I'm tasking you to be the leader of the operation, and you can get General Alfredo, Bryson, and SVT to help you out. 10R with Century is the cheat code on a roll, not on a dig. Is it because they don't donate to their management LLC? Right. Just look at the Jimmy John's stuff. Just look at the Jimmy John stuff in that area. Humble beginnings. Shit. Oh, see, people, oh, you're just jealous. No, you don't understand. There is nothing to be jealous about. I'm extremely happy with what we've built here. We have a amazing, amazing community built out of nothing, out of the dirt, out of just the ether, nothing. Built it. No investor. I ain't got no investor. I ain't got no sugar daddy. I ain't got a rich family. I ain't got a whole management company. This is me. So I am wowed, super impressed with myself. I'm like, you built something. Doesn't sound like a big deal to you guys. I make more money doing this than the regular job. Like almost 1.5 times. And I'm like, wow. But again, I throw it back into the company. I build twin turbo CR1s like an idiot. I build, Fairmonts. I Coyote swap GT500s. I'm retarded. But it's what I love to do. Fuck you. You ain't kidding. I went from a 2.9 to a Whipple from a 2.9 Whipple to a 2650. The thing is violent. I have a 17 GT with an Exetti twin disc and a lightweight flywheel. I've done crank reliners, but still have misfire code. If I bought a Lund tune, would y'all lower the misfire sensitivity under low load? We can, but that's not the right thing to do. I think the right thing to do is figure out why it's misfiring. From the outside looking in, it definitely seemed to be that Jeremy deserved to be a part of that ride. I think something happened. So again, I don't know Jeremy, but let's say he really liked George. Like really liked George. George, let's say, was a good tech and they had a good thing going and they were friends. And then one day, again, I don't know that this happened. And then one day, skeedle-a-deedle-a-derp comes a knocking. They have a love affair, not figuratively, not literally. And they're like, hey, you want to work for me? I'd love for you look a little Hispanic. You might attract some of the Hispanic audience. You have a great smile. You yell. You wear cutoff shirts. And you definitely don't got any biceps. You'd be perfect for the channel. And Jeremy's like, dude, what are you doing? We have a good thing here. What? Wait. What? You're leaving? We got a good thing here. What are you doing? Do I not pay you enough? This is a very small operation, man. I love you. I thought we were friends. You're really fucking leaving? Buenos dias! What? Dude, that's fucked up. And then he's like, hey, why are you coming in here? Like, I don't know. I don't know that this happened. But the way it looked was really bad. So I started going, there are some shenanigans back there that no one is airing out. And we'll get to the bottom of it. Because this nobody, nothing, doesn't matter channel doesn't get to the bottom of things. I got Slow 99 on my shit. Do you know Slow 99? He got me addresses of ops. Right? He's like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I said, don't worry about it. Woo. Ballax on the Escalade would be dope. Could you imagine it? 22-inch Ballax. All the cars about to get Ballax. They all eat a Waffle House straight out of Holyoke. You are your own investor. Basically, George went to do an out-of-town event with Cletus and missed some work to do so. Jeremy reprimanded George and gave him the ultimatum. George chose to go with Cletus. End of story. Hey, where were you last night? Well, we were doing burnouts and anal in Houston Motor Speedway. Burnouts and anal? You didn't tell me you were going to do burnouts. Dude, we got cars lined up. I'm docking your pay for a day or two because you can't just leave. Oh, yeah? Well, how about this? Oh, yeah, Jeremy? Well, how about this? So, you think that's what happened? You think that's what... again. Could you imagine? Best was when George ran into sand because they forgot cotter pin. My good ear. He flashed that green card. Didn't Jeremy essentially build this Corvette in the early days? My head, wow volume, do anything for clout. Hey, Rich Prince need a Buenos Dias shirt. I'll probably get sued by Mitchell Management LLC. Cleatards are still talking shit after Grannas crash. Of course they are. I was gonna pull a Trump and just send a picture of the outside of the ops house to their house. Supposedly the story was he wanted LS George to go on a drag and drive event, and Jeremy said no. And he went sideways, so Jeremy fired him because... Hey, man, you got to come work for me, man. But what if I come to the... Hey, look, Cletus, I love to go to the drag and drive with you, but I don't want to get fired by Jeremy. Don't you worry about that, buddy. If anything happens over there, I got you, and I'll double your pay. We just got to come up with a stupid fucking catch line so people think you're cool. I had to lower my volume. Not again. Headphone warning. Alex, will the white car be out soon? What? I got to pull the... I got to talk to Jake. Jake, let me get a couple of runs in before I pull the transmission, bro. I just want to drive it. That is what happens, says Johnny Go. Wow. Damn, wish could be seen on the free version of Patreon. Broke people problems. I need to move south to work all year. 22s, are you a drug dealer or not? Got a ball out with 24s. No, the Cadillac has 22s. Jeremy, don't you love it when chickens come home to roost? Y'all bunch of chismosos. I love it. See, this is the problem though, right? Those are the origin stories. Those origin stories are gonna make or break who you are. Someone requested it. Hey, you better. Hey, LS George, you look. We're gonna bring you over to the channel, so you're gonna have to quit the whole. How much money you making over there? He only gave me the $20. Well, look, man. If I take care of you, will you leave him? I don't know. I'm loyal. I would have to have a conversation with him. Don't worry. Just come do the drag and drive with me. We're going to have a good old time. Buenos dias! Buenos dias! Good job. Jeremy is like the nicest guy ever. Apparently, from what you guys are saying, and I don't know this, he poached George from him. And it's all good. And Jeremy just went away, probably pissed off at... Do you think they get along? Do you think they're tight? Do you think they're boys? Do you think they see each other at the Wawa in Bradenton? Hey, what's up, man? Hey, fuck you. Or do they get along? I don't know. Your past does reflect your future. Diddy button while saying Buenos Dias. That's what they told the general public was for that reason. Interesting. See? Even when Cooper left the camp, Cletus was pissed about it and didn't speak to him or about it to him for like over a year. Once you're jumped out, you're done forever. So imagine James Tall, who's a talented driver and tech, says, hey man, I think I grew up and I want to have like a normal life. I want a 9 to 5. You think it'd be like, sure, leave, no problem? Or do you think it'd be like, I made you. You owe me. I made you. Where would you be without me? Interesting. He was like, I'll pay you less, but with better benefits. Sounds like Banjo. So he, Alfredo, that's what I'm saying. So let's say, for instance, okay. People say, but Alex, you left VMP for the Lunds. I said, well, I was at the Lunds first. Then VMP hired me for a deeply discounted rate. I was literally making $45,000 a year, okay, in Florida. And somehow I made it happen. Because of the YouTube stuff, I supplemented it with YouTube. I'm like, I'm making, $80K with YouTube, so it's all good. So, I could live with $40K over here because they pay for my insurance or whatever. And then when Lund came around, they were like, we will give you this. And I'm just like, can you match it? I gave them the option, hey, they're paying me this much. And he's like, no, you can leave. I was like, oh, bet. It's all good. And now George is cutting sleeves off of people. Exactly. Cooper was like, fuck leader, I am making some crotch fruit. Nice. I don't, again, those are two very distinctive examples of what we're talking about. And I hate to make the show about that. But, you know, we talked about Grannas. We talked about the shit he's catching. We talked about the culture of what drag racing is becoming and how I don't want to be a part of it. Everywhere you see a drag and drive where he's in it, it's toxic. Everywhere you see an event he's in, it's toxic. Every time you see anytime anyone goes against that camp, they get so much pushback and toxicity. All you need is a falling out to happen with the wrong motherfucker. Think about it. Let's say you fuck heavy with someone, and that someone has their own shit, and y'all have a falling out. How do you think that's going to go? It's going to be nuclear. So I'm like, I'm going to distance myself because I don't want to be a part of any of this. Because I see it happening in slow motion, and I don't want anything to do with it. I want to go to Test and Tunes by myself. I want to go to a track rental by myself. I want to do a track day with the Amory and just live a happy life. Because right now, that whole developing situation is going to be a powder keg, and I want nothing to do with it. There's definitely precedent in the car scene that's like skewed in a way smaller to politics. That's how there's a left and a right. You know what I mean? Absolutely. In this chat, glad I found this channel. Love this chat. Glad I found this channel. Thank you so much. You got it, brother. Garrett doesn't have to hold things over people's heads. The fans do it for him, and Garrett knows that fully they'll do it. Then he all of a sudden begs them to stop. Why didn't you beg them to stop when they were threatening Grannas the first time? Beg. Probably he didn't want to be Cooper, Scooper, yeehaw. I'd love to get the real story from Cooper, but I don't think he wants to burn that bridge. Right? So if I wanted to have a candid conversation with Cooper, I'm like, what happened? Why'd you leave? Did you not want to be second fiddle? Did they treat you? Did they bully you? And again, I'm not being condescending. Really, I genuinely think Cooper's okay. I don't have anything against him. Let's just say that. Did his podcast, was great, got out of there, bada bing, bada boom, gave him 300,000 views, and I dipped out. Isn't that interesting? How some nobody pops up once a year and boom, gives you 300,000. The show is called Talking Shit. Who are we dogging out next? Let's go. I don't remember Cooper being a part of the Cletus camp. Yes, he was. Early on, he was the guy. Tell the story about Beef. No. He's like, that person needs to not be mentioned because they're irrelevant in everything and they love attention. Has he ever reached out to you trying to muffle you on the DL? Who? I wish they would. Muffle me? Woo-wee. They're still threatening him. Track day, Amory, Cooper, interview. Cooper won't get interviewed because I'm going to ask him hard-hitting questions that he'll dodge. I want real shit, and I don't think he'll give it to him. I did his show. It would be only right for him to do mine. Hey, Cooper, I did your show. I drove to your house. There's no benefit there. I drove 3 fucking hours to your shit. Nice place, too. He's got a nice place. Did an interview. I didn't get it. I got a water. And you got 300,000 views. Cool. No, nothing wrong with that. I'd love a real interview with you. Remotely. You're not coming over here to my 1-1. Just jizz-stained walls. I drive my GT500 from Oklahoma to an Amory track day. Nice. How do you feel about CJRC? Don't know what the fuck that is. Alice, do a sting operation. Your evil Cletus sounds like he would have been a bad guy. Burt Reynolds movie, White Lightning. Great. Host some Amory raids. That guy has some unmapped parameters in his head. Yeah, I thought about Coop Coop and him were tight. And you know, I saw a clip one time where him and Coop were at VMP. And it sounded like he was semi-bullying Coop. He said that he looked like a younger version of Justin Starkey. And while funny, I don't think I would. I don't know their relationship, so it was odd to me. Was the water even chilled or room temperature? Pretty fucked up. Cooper was the guy who was filming when Cletus was putting whistles on his exhaust. Exactly. And throwing bananas in turbos. Cletus could have been a good sport in the beginning. And I think that's what the main reason why racing is shit. People aren't good sports anymore. Exactly. So I hated the last half hour to become all about why drag racing is shit. But I think it's a good thing to get it out there. Why I think drag racing is shit is because it's enveloping that whole camp. And it's just like a blob. It's a virus. And it's just slowly overtaking drag racing. And that does not mean it's a positive for drag racing. I think drag racing eventually will have a massive kickback effect or like a it will be eventually a negative to be enveloped in that camp once you see how the fans react to when someone has a small disagreement with the whole situation. I'm out of here. So again, 5 people are eligible now for the GT500 giveaway. If you're a Patreon member, I'm going to make the poll probably Monday, let it run for a week. And that's, the best way I could do it. Just let it run for a week, see who wins. If there is a tie, we'll do a playoff style situation. We'll figure that out. And then we'll give away the blower. The consolation prizes are $25 gift cards to everyone else from domagotcookies.com and anything you want from richprince.com/YDBT. I highly suggest you get a hoodie because it's the most expensive item there. And I don't mind giving you something for applying to get the blower. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Plenty to talk about then. I'm sure a couple of qualifying passes. Many runs are going to be made at World Cup, so we'll pick up where we left off on Sunday morning. See you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.